Alright, so we've got the Ninja Goat and the GOATFATHER. In this build I'm going to be showing you basically how these go together, but I'm going to be focusing on the Ninja Goat. We've got a competition coming up and I'm actually going to be printing myself new body. I've got a new designed rear for it, so really pushing the scale version on this. And then I'm going to build a Goatzilla as well. So I'm going to strip this one down, use all the parts of this one to build like ultra long, ultra big wheels. Just going to be super cool. Alright, let's get this done. Right, I guess I better clean up the desk before we get into this video. I don't even know if that's much better, but there we go. My desk is never very tidy. Alright, so at the moment I've got the carcass of one of the goats that I'm building. I'm actually going to be really stacking up the tyre size. I don't normally go kind of, well, above 60mm on any of my builds. You'll find if you watch a lot of my videos, I really do stick to the kind of slightly smaller scale size wheels because I just like the way it looks, and I love driving this kind of size. But I am going to go super long shocks, kind of gladiator, full length, tad wider, and a bit more flex for this Goatzilla. And on the bed, yep, this one is literally, this one is done. I always love the two horns that appear when I'm printing. These are the supports, but yeah, always remind me of the goat horns printing the goat. Right, let's get this off the bed, get it de-supported, and then let's take a look at it. Okay, so that's it. We've pulled all of the supports off the Ninja Goat, and this is pretty much how it comes off the bed. I haven't done no prep work yet. I haven't even put the brass lugs in the back. So yeah, this always comes out really nice. Okay, so the kit contains pretty much 4 pieces, the main elements of the Ninja Goat. Number 1 is your rear tail. This has multiple shock mounts. I really kind of, well, on my other one, I just use them upright. But on this one, I'm going to have them slightly leant back, try and create a bit more flex. And yeah, this basically gets located in number 2, which is your main cab. And you see the 4 locators there. That bolts through to that. So once I put the brass collets in that, that'll be ready to go. The other part you get is a skid. Now this is a slightly upgraded version of the original that comes with the scx24. It has got a little bit more height on your forelinks. It is a little bit more beefier. You'll find that your gearbox will literally just click beautifully into place here. And again, what I do is, as you can see on this model here, I put the brass collets in, and this enables you to be able to keep moving it backwards and forwards, swapping around, because this is completely universal. So you can run your motor backwards or forwards. And this sits inside the cab. You just click it into place. And then you're left with choosing whether you want it sitting up front, sitting at the back, sitting up front with the motor sitting back, sitting up front with the motor sticking outwards. To drop this right back, the motor will need to stick completely out, but then by sticking it back, you also give yourself a bit more room to be able to put brushless in it, which I know can be done, especially with the Komodo and stuff like that. The 4th main component is the front shock mount, and this gets located here. You'll see that there are some screw holes up in the top. What this enables you to be able to do is just put a couple of screws in there and some rubber bands just to kind of act as limiting straps for your vehicle. Normally you'd put them front facing, and that sits on that plate there, and there's a little spacer that you use, and then 2 little screws, and you can basically slide this backwards and forwards, really kind of dialing in that front suspension a little bit more. Now, if you really want to go kind of extreme, you can swap them around as well, because it is universal. And if that best suits your style and what you need, then, well, it's there to be used. And really, that's it. That's the 4 components of the Ninja Goat. The rest of it is kind of dress up. It does come with a dashboard and kind of a little small interior, and then you can kind of stick people onto it, or you can just run the small little dash, and you know, just in case you haven't got kind of small electronics, because this thing is quite tight on space inside. It's very compact. Right, let's put some bits together. All right, so when you receive this kit, you'll get this piece will come separately. The hardware will be in a little bag, and you'll see that there's 4 brass lugs on the back of the body. What you're going to want to do is put the bottom 2 and locate them in first, and then locate the top 2. Then tighten all 4 down together. That way you're not causing any issue with threading out. They are pretty strong, but they are heated into place, so they can sometimes have some small discrepancies that can cause slight warpages. It's very small, but can cause you problems if you just try and ram a screw in there and tighten it up. Believe it or not, these brass collets in this PLA, once heated through, if it's not screwed in properly, they will just snap that before they snap the PLA. I learned that during the testing stage. So once you've got your tail piece put on, you're going to want to turn it over and start to install your front suspension mount. And again, this is relatively simple. I'm going to put the limiting strap locators at the front. You'll find when the kit comes, I've already probably put this piece in, and quite often I will put this piece on. It helps it packaging and being sent along. That way I know all the parts are in it when I send it. So this part is normally done for you guys, and you can just adjust it and kind of do what you want. All right, let's get this done. Okay, so once you've got the front support in and it's pretty secure, your Ninja Goat is pretty much almost there. All you'd need to do now is assemble your skid and choose your desired position and bolt it all together. Okay, so once you've kind of got your skid where you want it, where you want your motor up front, at the back, just kind of 360 it around till you get your desired balance, really. Then you basically just line up your holes with your grommets from your skid, and you'll get these little screws in the pack. And let's put a shiny one in. That's one of my old ones I've just taken out. And then you're left with the kind of, do you have it all up front? Now this is with the Gladiator length, so what this will do is, at the moment this is quite stuck out, the servo stuck out the front quite far. However, if you bring it back, it will, you know, pretty much sit like this one here, but it will be quite long out the rear. So I've kind of balanced it out a bit, and now all I'm going to do is locate the shocks up on the towers and put the shock mounts on the rear and see how it sits. And maybe I'll put the wheels on as well. Alright guys, so there you go. I got my scaled rig, which is really nice and small shocks, Small wheels. You know, almost pretty loaded. I still got to put a spare wheel. I've got some sand rails to go on and a few other bits. But yeah, this one is pretty much... And this thing's just been like... From the moment I built it, just been one of my favourite rigs to ride now. Such a great moving rig. And then I got this thing. And I've seen this been done a couple of times with people that purchased the Ninja Goat now. And I want to give it a go. So... We're going on Gladiator links. I've gone for my signature setup. So reversed on the front and the standard riser links the right way on the rear. Something I do, something I just really enjoyed using. Works really well for how I drive these things. Yeah, I think it's time to put some electronics in it, get it to the course, and get it a test drive. All right, for those that really kind of want to know what's going on, I'm going to give a full spec list right now.
If you decide